Here we go. Let's do this.
We've got one life, one shot. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? Addicted to Betterment, a podcast to inspire us to keep going, to try something new, to dream, to think big, bigger, to overcome. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, friends, welcome to today's episode of Addicted to Betterment. Really excited about the show today. And my hope is that today's show, it challenges you, it inspires you, and hopefully you leave with some tools that equip you to pursue betterment in your life. So I don't know if you've ever done anything in your life that you pause and you look around and think, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Well, I have a feeling I'm going to feel that way on this show today. So today we're going to talk about women's basketball. So recently we did a show on betterment beliefs in which we shared all 6 of the core beliefs of addicted to betterment. Today, we're going to break down that first belief and we're going to incorporate women's basketball. And honestly, I'm a basketball junkie, have been my whole life. I've never been that much of a girls basketball fan. But man, unless you've been living under a rock and it had to have been a really big rock, you can't even describe the level of excitement that Caitlin Clark has generated around women's basketball. And man, it's exciting the things that she's done. And she is drafted by the Indiana Fever. I'm in Indianapolis, and I personally am excited about women's basketball in Indiana. So, what does that have to do with the core beliefs of Addicted to Betterment? So, the first belief is in every facet of life, we have the ability to achieve unprecedented levels of excellence. And here's what I got to tell you Caitlin Clark has achieved unprecedented levels of excellence. There's no denying that. And I'm excited to just break that down in relation to, yes, addicted to betterment. So here's the deal. I want to share with you 5 things that I believe has helped her do exactly that. And in my mind, we can use those in our own lives to achieve unprecedented levels in our own life in every area. We're just going to dive right in. So the most important thing is set clear goals, but not just clear goals, make ambitious goals. So, like I said, got completely captured with watching Caitlin Clark and her team's run to the national championship. And they didn't win the national championship, but dang, they had unprecedented levels of viewers and just the excitement around not only her and her team, but the sport in general. So, but when she got drafted number 1 by the Indiana Fever, I watched the interview, and one of the things that really stood out to me was she wrote down in a vision board, she called it her dream board, in which she wrote, I want to play in the WNBA in the 2nd grade. Now, friends, I want to play in the WNBA. I would have to say, yes, that's clear, but dang, that is ambitious. And in the 2nd grade, and man, how easy is it that we set goals? And if you're like me, I'm a goal setter. So I mean, I kind of set goals daily. I set goals for myself every single day and do my best to chase them and achieve them. But not only did she set clear goals, not only did she set ambitious goals, but she wrote it down. When I think of some of the most successful people that I know, and as I was thinking about this show today, all of them have the habit of writing their goals down, and generally where they look at them all the time. And it just blew me away that she wrote that down in the 2nd grade. So not only did she set a clear goal, but I mean, she went all out with ambition. So, I want to play in the WNBA, the highest level. I want to achieve the highest level in the thing that I love to do. So I just think back to the things I've experienced when I've succeeded and when I failed, that those were things I did. I set clear goals and ambitious goals. So my challenge to you today, set some clear ones, but make them ambitious. So set the goal and then think, you know what? Let's make it higher. What is outside of my comfort zone? What is a goal so big? I'm not sure I even believe I can achieve it. Set it, go after it. So that's the first thing. The second thing that really stood out to me about her unprecedented level of excellence was prioritize relentless practice. Man, it was really cool. Like I said, when I watched her interview when she got drafted, one of the things that she said that resonated with me was she said that she was talking to her mother and was having an emotional moment with her mom, just celebrating this whole journey. And she said that she looked at her mom and said, "Mom, I've earned it. And that's why I'm so proud of it." Dang, that just stood out to me. If we prioritize relentless practice, do the work, do the work. One of my favorite all-time athletes was Kobe Bryant, and I love studying the Mamba mentality. And it's funny, in one of his interviews, I heard him talk about hitting game-winning shots and being clutch in critical moments of high pressure situations. And they would ask him, "Were you nervous? Were you scared?" And he said, "No, not at all." The reason why? I had hit that shot a million times in practice. I practiced that shot over and over and over and over and over, and that set him up to deliver for ultimate success. And man, it's one thing to set clear and ambitious goals. It's one thing to write them down. It's another thing to actually put it up where you see it all the time. The next step is doing the work. We can get fired up, we can get excited, but unless we're willing to do the work, nothing's going to happen. I'm guilty of this myself. I have these big ideas, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this, but I have a big idea that I'm thinking of as I'm in the shower, I'm driving down the road, and I'm thinking, "Oh man, I'm going to do this thing." And then when it comes to actually implementing the processes, I don't know how many times I've set these ambitious fitness goals. And then, I go to the gym early the first morning, get an afternoon workout after work. And, I get through that about 3 or 4 days. And then that fourth or fifth day, I'm like, man, I'm tired. And I make every excuse and justify why not to fulfill the things that I set in place for myself to do to achieve the goal. And therefore, I usually don't achieve the goal. You have to prioritize relentless practice. You have to do the work. Like I hope you do, have super ambitious goals. I have a lot I want to accomplish. And man, the only way I'm going to get there in life is to do the work. And so join me in that. The third thing that I noticed about her unprecedented level of excellence that I think we can share in this, and hopefully it will challenge you and inspire you like it did me, but foster resilience. Learn to grow resilience. I don't think resilience is something that is born in us, but I believe resilience is something that we grow, that we work on, that improves in us. And at the end of the day, you have to embrace setbacks. You have to embrace curveballs. And when things don't go as anticipated, what are we going to do? Are we going to kind of take a break and quit, make excuses and say, it didn't pan out. You know what? I'll set a different goal. I'll set something else that I can achieve. No, we have to foster resilience. And it's something that we only can achieve through setbacks. We can only achieve resilience through challenges. If you don't get challenged, you're not going to be resilient. It's the same way in the gym. We grow through resistance. The act of resistance and push-ups or bench presses or whatever it is, that's what gets us stronger. And I believe that in life is what fosters resilience. So, first thing, set clear and ambitious goals. Second thing, prioritize relentless practice. The third thing, foster resilience. The fourth thing, this is a hard one. I mean, the first three were hard. I think this one might even be harder. Embrace coaching, seek feedback, seek collaboration. Caitlin Clark, I mean, arguably the greatest female basketball player that many of us have ever seen. And hopefully takes the WNBA Indiana Fever to many championships. That's my goal, and I'll be cheering for the whole way. But she had to get a lot of coaching. She had to take a lot of criticism and a lot of feedback from people who care about her and who want the best for her. And you know what? That's hard to do. That is hard to do, to take real coaching, real things that we can improve on. But all the greats seek it out. All the people who have achieved unprecedented levels of excellence usually sought out mentors and coaching that would speak hard truth to them. So, Caitlin Clark obviously had a lot of coaches along her way and a lot of people who poured into her, who gave her feedback, who told her she needed to get better at this and get better at that. and give her technique and help to do it. So hats off to her. Embrace coaching, seek feedback, seek out collaboration. The fifth and final point that I believe help us achieve unprecedented levels of excellence is surround yourself with the right people. Man, I can't overstate how critical this is to achieve levels of excellence that we've never seen before. So, as I watched Iowa Hawkeyes play basketball and Caitlin Clark, I had never really watched her before. And when I witnessed her excellence for the first time as she's playing a game that I personally love and have been a big fan of my whole life and have watched tons and tons and tons of basketball, as I watched her, here's what I was struck by. Her team recognized her greatness. So her team, by allowing her to go after her goals, allowing her to just be her greatness, take the shots, make the pass, call the plays. They trusted her and believed in her to be great enough to lead them. And they had to kick the ego to the side and embrace it. And guess what? When their team recognized her greatness and I would say fed her greatness, believed in her, cheered her on, not only accepted her being the star and had to kind of take a little bit of a lesser role. None of us like to take a lesser role. But at the end of the day, they took a lesser role and allowed her to shine. And because of that, they got to go to the national championship. There's such a big lesson in that for all of us. One, surround yourself with people who are willing to let you shine. And two, when you're on a team with someone who is just killing it, check your ego at the door and go along for the ride. That's when you will experience incredible things like her teammates did when they got to go on this ride to the national championship by embracing her role, embracing her greatness, and taking somewhat of a lesser, I would say, a contributing role and actually contributed to her greatness. And I think of the coach, a lot of coaches are so set in how they think the game should be played and the plays that should be ran and what should be ran at a certain time. But the Iowa coach recognizing Caitlin Clark's greatness for what it was and her being willing, I would say also to just celebrate her, let her be the star. The coach didn't need to be the star. The coach didn't need to be the one with all the accolades. She celebrated Caitlin Clark and elevated her to be able to spread her wings and go after her greatness. Man, the power of surrounding yourself with the right people. Imagine if Caitlin Clark had been on a team with a coach who wasn't emotionally mature, who had too big of an ego, that didn't want Caitlin Clark to achieve such a big spotlight, didn't want her to be such a big star. But no, none of her teammates did that. They accepted her, applauded her, celebrated her. The power of surrounding yourself with the right people. You know, if you believe you have more in you, if you believe you have greater things in you and you have people around you who are trying to tear you down, who are trying to push down your dream, push down the things that you can accomplish, or maybe even try to sabotage you, try to undermine you and not allow you to go after your greatness. Man, take a look at the people around you. I have a front row seat to someone who that I work closely with, and man, they like to pride themselves on being great at what they do. And I've noticed over years that whenever they see someone else achieving accolades or being excellent or going after their own greatness, they start undermining them and they start sabotaging them and they start trying to demean or take away from that person's accomplishments. And I think, man, if you would just check your ego at the door and embrace it, celebrate it, elevate them, applaud them. How can I help you? How can I support you? How can I pass you the ball? How can I set you a screen? How can I get a rebound for you? Hey, how can I play defense on their best player so you can take a break? What are the things that I can do? If that person would just check their ego at the door, imagine the ride of excellence and joy that they could experience. Because I'll tell you what, friends, there's nothing in the world like winning. There's nothing in the world that's as fun as achieving great things with a great team. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And that can only be done when you surround yourself with the right people. It's so cliche and we hear it all the time. You are the total of the people you surround yourself. And man, hats off to Caitlin Clark. I never thought I'd be doing an episode on women's basketball, but dang, when you see someone achieve unprecedented levels of excellence, you got to celebrate it because after all, we are addicted to betterment. Let's recap this. Set clear and ambitious goals. Prioritize relentless practice. You got to foster resilience. You got to embrace the setbacks, embrace coaching, seek out feedback. Who do you have surrounding you? Who's your team? Who are the people that is surrounding you? Because those people are going to dictate your excellence. Friends, like I said, never thought I would be talking about women's basketball, but so excited to talk about achieving unprecedented levels of excellence. When we hashed out these core beliefs of addicted to betterment, this was number one for a reason, because we truly believe every single one of us, whether you're achieving greatness in life, whether you're trying to get up from the bottom, we all have more in us. Success, it's rented. It's rented and the rent is due every day. And so if you're not growing, you're declining. There's no such thing as stagnant. So if you're not going after the next level of excellence, you're most likely declining. Thank you for sharing this episode with us today. Man, we love your feedback. We love the stories. We love the feedback. Thank you for joining us on this journey of addicted to betterment. Let's do this. So you just listened to this episode. Now, join us in being addicted to betterment. Please subscribe to the show, share with your friends, tag us, and please take a moment, leave a review. Yeah, we do want your stars, but we really want the feedback.